Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, direct your purchase inquiries to tmosso at thewatchbox.com, the new direct purchase inquiry line for you, to me, and my crew for this or any watch you see and like on Watchbox Reviews. And today we're discussing a 2019 model year limited edition of 500 pieces in stainless steel. This is the TAG Heuer Carrera 02 Chrono Fragment, a collaboration between TAG Heuer of La Chaux-de-Fonds and Fragment Design of Japan, with fragment designer Hiroshi Fujiwara doing the good deed. A timepiece graced by unusual dial, caseback, and Bund strap elaboration on the standard and classic 1963 Heuer Carrera design. The watch has the strong Heuer Carrera lugs, but the fit here is determined more by the stylish Bund strap that accompanies this watch. 39 millimeters is the size of the case, and if you were to wear the watch with the Bund strap, it's 17.5 millimeters above the wrist. Now, if you were to take it off of the Bund strap, it would be 14.5 millimeters thick, so far more reasonable. 47.6 millimeters lug-to-lug if you include just the case, but again, the strap does extend that somewhat across the wrist. Nevertheless, because the strap is flexible, pliant, and comfortable, I can recommend it with the Bund for wrists as small as 14 centimeters circumference, 13 centimeters circumference with a more conventional strap, and the spacing between the lugs is 19 millimeters. Now, the timepiece is a fusion of east and west, past and present. As you can see, the strap is designed to emulate the Bund style straps issued to German aviators and military personnel during the 1960s. So you have an enormous platform on which the watch is effectively isolated from the skin. This was originally to help avoid channeling atmospheric temperature extremes, hot and cold, directly to the skin of an aviator. Now, what I can show you here is that it is alligator leather, large rectangular scale, and glossy on the top, monotone stitch. You can see the layers of construction with the sheer side, and then it's calfskin on the bottom, and you can see this is a brand new Heuer factory strap. I find it intriguing that this watch is fully signed Heuer. It's signed Heuer on the strap, it's signed Heuer on the dial, Heuer on the caseback, it's even signed Heuer on the pin buckle with a vintage Heuer logo and crest. I get the feeling that long term that is going to be the name of the company, and TAG will gradually lapse. It even says Heuer on the crown. Now, the Carrera lugs are famous. As you can see, they are strong, they are striking, they're beautifully integrated into the case flank, but unlike the gentle curve of a Calibre integrated lug, this flies out like the energetic paintings, not of the utilitarians in Bauhaus of the 1920s and 30s, but of the Italian futurists. However, 1963 and Jack Heuer claiming the specific credit for this wonderful thrusting mass of metal and its sexy angularity. You can see that there is a sapphire with a lovely bubble-like camber to it, so it's designed to evoke vintage plexiglass, but it is sapphire with the scratch resistance attendant there too. Let me quickly grab my polishing cloth, and you can see the dial in this case is a tri-register no-date dial. Also, Carrera Heuer signed, no tag. You can see the signature of Fragment Design on the dial, and if you note very carefully, the indices as well as the lume in the hands, sort of simulated patina ecru for color contrast. Simple white on black. You can see there's an azurage or concentric circular guilloche stamping on the sub-registers, which are also dished, and then there's a beautiful bilateral symmetry to this dial. You can cut it right down the center and it would be beautifully symmetrical. Outboard, you can see a silvered chapter ring or flange for reading the seconds and the minutes, and then there is a tachymeter that starts unconventionally at about 3:30 on the dial. We're going to remove this strap so you can see the case back. The watch is capably powered by a manufacturer movement, whereas the original Heuer Carrera knew no such refinement. This watch is powered by a Calibre Heuer 02, which is the most sophisticated in-house chronograph caliber that TAG Heuer currently offers. Automatic winding with a 75-hour power reserve. It features Edachron for exceptional fine regulation, and you can see a high-grade splayed spoke balance. It has hacking seconds. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and I mentioned refinement. This watch has it all. Built in a special Chevenet manufacturer that TAG Heuer constructed specifically for this movement. You can see polished screws, Côte de Genève, blackened rotor with a tungsten mass, and it uses a column wheel vertical clutch tandem to operate its chronograph architecture, all of which is to say, thanks to the column wheel, it has a very crisp action. I'm going to hold it up against the mic so you can hear it. And thanks to the vertical clutch, it has a very smooth action as it springs into motion without any jump or stagger, unlike a lateral clutch which has inherent play. Also, because the vertical clutch creates no additional wear and tear on the system, with a vertical clutch chronograph like this, you can leave the chronograph running full-time if you so choose. This is a handsomely executed 33 joule manufacture movement that is protected down to 100 meters by this stainless steel case. You can see the strength of those lugs even from the underside, imposing and impressive. Like I said, not so much the legacy of the Art Deco era coming out of the 1930s and 40s. The 50s and 60s latched onto many different threads of modernist design, and I feel like futurism is the spiritual father of these lugs. As striking today as they were in 1963, you can own this TAG Heuer Carrera 02 modified by Fragment Design on the watch box. TAG Heuer Carrera by Fragment Design, limited edition by night.